Welcome to another episode of the Boxing Lockdown, powered by SA Boxing Talk. Now, we are talking to the two gentlemen tonight, or rather, I'm talking to the two gentlemen tonight, and we are talking about pound for pound top 10 lists by both gentlemen. How this is going to work is basically, it's my opinion, and I'm going to choose the best top 10 pound for pound list from either gentleman, and you guys are going to have your say whether you agree or disagree. So, Hayden, Cyril, good evening and welcome to, I believe we're in week 6 of COVID-19 level 4. Seems to be a little less tension, although still not permitted to do most things. Let me start with you, Hayden. Number 1, pound for pound on your top 10 list currently.
Number 1, and I think you guys can all, people at home that have been listening to this will all see this coming. Terence Crawford is my ultimate number 1 pound for pound boxer.
Okay, do you not think that the fight that's eluding him for him to be pound for pound number 1 is the Spence fight?
No, I don't think that the Spence fight drags him down the list, to be honest with you. I do think that is the fight that the welterweight division, I think Terence Crawford naturally goes in as the number 1 in the welterweight division as well. Obviously, if he's number 1 in the world, then he technically has to be number 1 in the welterweight division in my eyes. However, we got a fight that can be lined up in the future. I don't know. I don't think it does.
Even though he's had unified the junior welterweight division, obviously lightweight champion, don't you think he's in need for that standout fight for him to be pound for pound? And I'm not so sure I agree with you at pound for pound number 1. But don't you think that one fight's lacking in his career? Yeah, he cleaned up the junior welterweight division, fought Amir Khan, obviously beat the Aussie. But there's that fight that's eluding him at welterweight. Don't you think that's eluding him, or are you just basing him on what he's done previously for him to be number 1 on your list?
The fact that how I look at Terence Crawford being number 1 is the fact that every single fight that he's gone in, he's cleaned up completely. He hasn't left anything in doubt. We can't question a single one of Terence Crawford's performance, saying, did he win that fight when he should have the other guy got the decision? That's what I'm basing it on. So up until this point, no one has tested Terence Crawford. And that's not to say that he hasn't been an incredible opponent. I mean, you look at the guys coming up through the ranks. The first stand-up performance he had, obviously now we're looking a while back, this is still at lightweight, was against Ricky Burns, who was a huge name at that stage. Terence Crawford took his name and has been flying the Oklahoma flag ever since.
Right, Cyril, good evening, Cyril. How are you? First, your number 1 pound for pound fighter.
My pound for pound number 1 is not an unbeaten guy, but he's dominated in every weight division he's been in, and that's Vasily Lomachenko. And the reason for that is other than the Salido fight which he lost, he has dominated everybody else, and he has looked impressive. And those names were not small names. He's taken on the top guys in each division and made light work of them. So, yeah.
Okay, 1-0 for Cyril. I like that. I think Lomachenko deserves to be ahead of Crawford, only because Crawford, I just think although he's brilliant and he's unbeaten and he's really good, I just think he needs that standout fight, and he hasn't had it yet, and I think once he has that, then maybe. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be maybe in the top 3. I'm just saying I just don't think he's worthy of being pound for pound number 1. My opinion. Hayden, let's move to number 2. You are with who?
At number 2, I actually have Cyril's number 1. Yeah, Vasily Lomachenko.
Okay.
I think he's a strong contender to be number 1 as well. I mean, Cyril made a in his number 1. I believe that between the two of them, they're my two favorite boxers of the current generation. So it was a tough decision for me, but I went with obviously Crawford ahead of him just because he has more fights.
Hayden, how tough was it? I mean, come on, you're doing nothing at home, just thinking boxing YouTube. Come on, it wasn't that tough.
It's tough because
Hold on. Let me just ask you this. So you don't have a problem with Cyril's number 1?
No, I don't have.
Okay.
It's an arguable case for either in my eyes.
Right.
But I was forced to choose one.
Cyril, sticking with you, who's your number 2?
My number 2 is Alexander Usyk.
Right.
Mainly because I think the cruiserweight division is probably one of the most hotly contested divisions around, and maybe people don't give it enough attention. But it's such a stacked division And Usyk dominated. I think what he did in the World Boxing Super Series was phenomenal, and the manner in which he did it. And so I think, but the top three would be Lomachenko, Usyk, and Crawford. Either one could be number one, but I just think Usyk at number two is just brilliant.
Right. Okay. I'm not going to vote on that because I'm not too much of a Usyk fan, to be honest, and I guess it would be wrong. But right now, out of the top two, Cyril, you got my vote for number one. So let's move to number three. I know that sounds very confusing. Hayden, your number three and why?
My number three is Naoya Inoue. I think that the Japanese killer, he's just a knockout artist. And let's take away he's running through weight divisions at the moment, not losing a step. And even though he had the Nonito Donaire fights, which I believe was the biggest test thus far, he still came through to the flying colors.
He came through and it was a knockout. We all know there was a knockout. It was a long count, the body language. It should have been a TKO or a knockout. I agree with you. Cyril, unless your number three is Monster, hey, it's 1-1. Who's your number three?
My number three is number one, Terence Crawford.
Right. See, like for me, I think I'm not even sure. Yeah, okay, I would go with number three, but just because Monster's my favorite fighter, and I'm making no sense in this. I love Monster. I just think he's a dominant champion. He's knocking guys out. He's creating excitement. Okay, so we've done the top three. It's 1-1 apiece. Hayden, let's move to your number four.
Yeah, so my number four was, the previous topic that we spoke about, Canelo Alvarez. I think Canelo slots in quite nicely into that fourth position. Remember we were talking about third position, but in retrospect, when I was looking back through the names, I slotted him at number four.
Yeah, I quite like number four, Canelo. Cyril, who have you got at number four?
I've got the same, Canelo
right,
Alvarez.
so it's 1-1. Let's just say it's 1-1. I quite like the feel of this. I like the way the flow and show is going. Okay, so let's move to number five. Hayden, who's your number five?
My number five was Cyril's number two, Alexander Usyk.
So it's interesting. It's interesting. I think number five is a fair place for him. I was looking at one of the publications earlier before we started the show. I think it was Ring, and they had Errol Spence at number five. Now, I don't think that's justified. So I like Usyk at number five, but it all depends on what Cyril has at number five. So who's your pick at number five, and why?
My number five is Monster. I think we've already talked about him. He's amazing. He's run through. I just think it's still, I think, give him another year or two in his career, you could probably see him climbing up my list for sure. Right. Monster.
Okay, so Hayden, I'm going to go with you. So it's 2-1. Sorry, Cyril. I love you, brother, but I just like the flow of Hayden's list. Guys, number six.
Okay, so
Hayden, yeah. Okay, Cyril, you go for number six. Who's your number six?
Errol Spence.
Errol Spence. Okay.
Yeah, I think when over Porter gives him a solid win, and
I think in the top 10, I agree with you. I don't think the top five, so I like number six at Errol Spence. Hayden, who have you got?
I've got Gennady Golovkin at number six. I think that first result against Canelo is debatable. And even the second one was a very close fight, even though I did feel
very close. So here's the thing: that loss really hurt his, because I thought he won the first fight, and I thought he lost the second fight. Just lost the second fight. Do I think he's worthy of what are we on? Number six, right?
Yeah. He's only had one loss.
He's only had one loss. Spencer's the guy's unified, unbeaten, gaining, momentum. Cyril, I've got to go with you. I think, guys, it's 2-2 right now, going into number 7.
Even though you said, can I just argue 1 point?
Sure, of course you can.
Wasn't Golovkin a lineal champion of the division?
No, he never beat Canelo. Canelo was supposed to be lineal.
Oh, Canelo was lineal.
Yeah, because he beat Cotto, remember, who beat Martinez. You got to beat the man who beat the man.
He had more belts than Canelo, right? Before.
Yeah, but he had the mythical title of linear for rings, so
okay.
It depends on what you. Hayden, it's 2-2. Hey, listen, the championship's still up for grabs, baby. It's still championship round.
you must argue your points because it's a championship fight. It's a 12
Okay,
round.
yeah, 12 rounds, it's 2-2. We're going to number 7 now. Hayden, let me start with you.
My number 7 is Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, good call. Good call. It's a bit high, but let me see what Cyril says.
I think Pacquiao is still a good fighter, but I don't think he was the fighter that he was. I still have him on the list, but I put lower down. I'm going to Strada at 7.
Hayden, I've got to go with Cyril, so it's like 3-2 now. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, and you know what the thing is? I think Mayweather. Mayweather. Don't know why I'm thinking about Mayweather. We're not mentioning him, right? I think Pacquiao, purely on the merit of him coming back and being like the comeback of the year, beating Thurman. I definitely think he deserves to be like number 9 or number 10. 7 to me is a little high, but the fact that. Sorry, go ahead.
I want to argue this point because, like, I feel like if Keith Thurman had beaten Manny Pacquiao, he probably would have been on our top 10 lists.
Yes, but you also got to know that because of momentum. So, mind you, I've just kind of contradicted myself there. So,
because Pacquiao's been on a rampage for a while now, hasn't he?
Sorry, say that again?
He's been on a rampage for a while now, plus being past 40, not at his best, yes, but he's still a world champion.
But can I just argue that Pacquiao beating Thurman, but you got to look at what was happening with Pacquiao before the Thurman fight. You know what I mean? One fight, I don't think one win is good enough to put you that high up in the list.
Don't think Adrian Broner's a credible opponent after the Thurman.
No.
Hayden, I know you're not supposed to be passing the Zol, but hey, bro, maybe cut that out. You know what, Hayden, you actually bring a very good point. So what I'm going to do is, it's a tough one, eh? It's a very, very tough one. No, I'm going to stay with Cyril. It's 3-2. Sorry. Let's go to, I think Estrada, doing what he's done and obviously being the linear champion, and I think he's worthy of number 7. I do. I think Pacquiao, if you said number 8 or number 9, maybe. Let's move to number 8. Cyril, let me start with you.
Golovkin at number 8.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call, but yeah.
I don't think he's at his peak right now, but he's still a very dangerous fighter, and he can still hold his own.
Here's a question for Hayden before we get to his number 8. If the third rubber match happens, and we don't say rubber because the first fight was a draw, but if Golovkin beats Canelo,
right,
and beats him convincingly, can he be number 1?
I don't think he goes in the world.
Pound for pound. Does he move up to number 1? Because at one stage, many people felt that he was number 1.
Yeah, but again, it comes down to looking at the other guys who they've beaten, Okay, it is Canelo Alvarez, and we have most of us have agreed that Canelo Alvarez is in and around the top. He's definitely in the top 5.
Top 5, yeah, 100%.
But does he not then just replace Canelo's position? That's what I'd say.
Potentially, but also he's had a super fight where where Terence Crawford's, desperate for that super fight. You can see it. We've been reading about it. He's getting itchy with Top Rank. He's desperate for a big name. He's not getting it. He's calling out Pacquiao. He's calling out Spence. So what I'm saying to you is that think about it, that if Golovkin for somehow comes back and beats Canelo convincingly, then surely maybe there could be argument for pound 1 or 2. No?
I think no, because technically he didn't win the first fight on points because of the judges. Even though most of us feel that he did, the history books will always reflect otherwise.
Cyril, is it just me, or is Hayden just very argumentative tonight?
Yeah, I think he's trying to be a politician.
All right, Hayden, we're not bullying you. Who's your number 8, bro? This is a great show. I'm just having so much fun doing this. Who's your number 8?
My number 8 is Tyson Fury.
So you know how I feel about that. So it's 3-3, guys. The score is 3-3. A lot of people will claim that Fury could be even higher than that, given his dominant performance Deontay Wilder. So, I mean, while Fury definitely deserves to be there. So, for me, going into number 9,
You're 3-3.
3-3. Going into number 9, Hayden, let me stick with you. Who's your number 9 and why?
Oh, my number 9 is Anthony Joshua.
The thing with Fury is, like, guys, I really don't think he needs to be, doesn't have to be explained or justified. I think he was just so dominant in his last performance and just consistently winning, obviously. Who's your number 9?
My number 9 is the guy that holds all the other world heavyweight titles, Anthony Joshua. All
Okay,
three.
fair comments. Fair vote as well. Cyril, who's your number 9?
Number 9 is a guy that I don't believe can be beaten in his weight division, and that's P4P.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Sorry, who's your number 9 again, Hayden? I'm just running off.
Anthony Joshua, the Olympic gold medalist, and holding 3 world heavyweight titles.
Guys, that is just so tough. It's just so tough.
P4P has 1 world title.
No, didn't he unify his last fight?
Yeah, he unified. He's got 2 titles.
Yeah,
now.
unified his last. Yeah, he fought the PC champion, right?
Yeah, Vostik was.
Yeah, and he stopped him, right?
The biggest win on his record.
You know what, so I'm gonna have to go with Hayden. Just in terms of momentum, even though he lost, he came back and he put on a dominant display of boxing. A lot of people thought that it was boring. But Joshua, I feel, has kind of proved himself with P4P, even though he's like knocked everyone out in his way and he's unified to a point, another belt. I still think Joshua is worthy of being there. So, is it 4-3 to you, Hayden?
4-3. Yeah, that's. How do we come to this number? We're going into number. Okay.
4-3. Are we going to number 10 now? So it could be a tie. So let me ask you, who's your top 10? Who's your number 10?
My number 10 is the legendary Manny Pacquiao.
Right.
One of the old. I don't think. Well, I know Hayden's got him a bit higher, but I think he is, amazing. Had an amazing career. He's still a brilliant fighter to this day, even over the 40. Yeah. So Pacquiao.
Hayden, who's your number 10?
My number 10's I put him in, and he's not on anyone else's top 10 of all the other ratings that I did research. I went through a couple of websites to see who
I was Josh Taylor.
And it is Josh Taylor. It literally is. So what do they call him? The Tartan Tornado. I have him.
Tornado, yeah.
I have him in at number 10.
Okay, so here's the thing. I mean, the thing is that I have to go with yours, Hayden. Sorry, Cyril. I mean, I do love you. I should have made my own top 10, but I thought it would be more fun, having the two of you against each other and giving my opinion on it. But I think both of your top 10s are both warranted. So I can't say both of them, Cyril's is crap, because I agree with him on a lot of the fighters. I can't say yours is perfect because I disagree with you on some of the fighters. But I think the guys we mentioned are worthy of being a top 10 in anyone's opinion. Fury special, Josh Taylor, I believe, obviously cleaning up the division besides Ramirez, and that obviously still has to be determined. Pacquiao making the incredible comeback last year against Thurman. Spence, we can argue he deserves to be there. Monster, definitely. Terence Crawford as well. So I think both of you take a bow. So irrespective of who won this city competition, I think it's just a lot of fun doing the show as well. Gentlemen, I think we're going to leave it there. I've had a lot of fun recording, being argumentative with the two of you. Cyril, your last pointing shot for the show.
I think just give it some time, and P4P makes it top 5.
Hayden, your last pointing shot. You know what I'm going to say? Hold on, before your last pointing shot. Who's the biggest shit stirrer in South African boxing today? Hayden,
it's with you.
You know it's Dev. Okay, cool. So you agree, Dev.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dev, we do miss you on the show. I hope you watch this episode. Hayden, your last parting shot for this evening.
Yeah, I think I want to do more of these episodes. I think that this was a good one. A nice competitive edge to it as well, which was obviously always.
Yeah, it's been great. To the viewers, thanks for tuning in. Give us your views on the top 10, on your top 10, if you agree or disagree. I thought it was a lot of fun tonight recording the show. From all of us here on the Boxing Lockdown, powered by SA Boxing Talk, we will see you again soon.